Central Gray Matters. I'm your host, Dave Sokolowski, with Barry 3D Carter, Zulfa Ali, and the guy who never does his homework, Thomas Patrice. And so, Thomas, what is your topic going to be?
Speaking of homework not being done, I want to talk about how this pandemic has affected our children and how it's affected their schooling and the way their outlook on the way the world is now. Because I have 3 boys. One of my boys is older. He lives in Arizona. But I have 2 young ones at home. And the way that this has affected them is, at first, I thought it was going to be sort of easier for them, right? But what they're going through, and this is a serious topic, what they're going through is slight anxiety. Because not knowing, always hearing this pandemic is affecting everybody. The pandemic is, you could get it if you did this. You got to be careful. Got to wash your hands. They're also being affected in the sense of it kind of makes them depressed because they can't get out and see their friends. And last but not least, it's affecting their homework because it's weird. They're sort of taking on this air where, well, why should we do homework if we're not going to be able to go out and have fun? If we're not going to be able to go out and be with our friends? So in a sense, the pandemic has been good in certain ways, because it's made people stop and take stock of what they have at home, like myself, my family, my wife, my boys, our lives. But it's also brought kids sort of to the other side of reality, where they've got to face a fear that not even their parents can fully explain. We live in a world where everything is basically handled for us. We're very lucky. But now we live in a world where there's certain uncertainty. The world has been here before, yes, but that was in the beginning of the last century. Now, the beginning of this century, we're looking back in time, trying to find the heroism from that time. We're also trying to find a way to cope with our loneliness, and this is for our kids, I should say, with their loneliness, with their look on life, and the way that they're looking at each other. Because for the first time in our societies, our kids have to look at their mortality. When I was a child, I didn't have to do that. Anybody else?
That was brilliant, Malcolm X. I was like, he's about to drop by any means necessary any minute now. We need change by any means necessary.
Hold on. I believe the proper term is, you are such a fucking buzzkill. We've been, and like, seriously, even when the fucking, and you know what, had I known that the internet was kicking me off so I wouldn't have to listen to this, I would have fucking stayed off. Like, why the fuck would you? Hey, let's pick topics and make them funny. Okay, let's talk about how this is affecting the kids. You know what? Fuck the kids. You know why? Okay, because they're going to be around a lot longer than we are. Okay, seriously, they're fine. They have fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could have spoken about TikTok.
They have fucking PlayStation 5s. They have every device that they could want. They have tablets. They have computers. They have cell phones. What the fuck did we have when we were going? If this shit happened back in the 80s. That would have been more Mad Max than anything else, because we would have went fucking nuts.
It's true, because I'm amazed that when I look at my daughter and I'm like, okay, well, you got to stay home. What's the issue? Because I know I'm looking and I'm like, wow, we have all this stuff now. And as you're saying, Dave, we had to go through this back in the 80s. I don't know what I would have done. Back in the 80s, we had a VHS. We had maybe.
If you were lucky.
If you're lucky, I bust my ass to make sure I had one. VHS, you had to go and rent this. There's no internet. AOL. Nobody answered the phone. Why? I'm about to see a nipple.
It took you 6 days to download a naked picture of a woman, for fuck's sakes. Like, seriously, you could quarantine and jerk off once.
This is the best time to be in quarantine. You want to order something?
And
Instacart.
You know.
Amazon. TikTok, like Dave said. You know, you've got every facility that they need is
Skip
right
the
there.
dishes.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
want to
mean?
fucking chat with your friends? Hey, TP, look what we're doing right now. We're chatting with our fucking friends.
But the kids
I
don't.
can
It's true.
see you.
But the
I
kids
can
are right.
see
They don't.
you.
They don't see
I
it
can
that same
see
way.
strands of your Jerry curls.
Ah. Yes.
Hang on a second. Guys, you're talking about it, and it's true. This is the best time to be in. But my kids are going through such withdrawal. They have to be on 24/7 with their phone. They got to sleep with their phone beside them. Is my friend calling? You're gonna be on? Okay, so I'm gonna be on at 7:45. I can play for 22 minutes, and I'm gonna have a sandwich. There's
But
no.
That's called parenting, bro.
No, but it's true because the kids never have enough. No matter, we are looking at it and we're comparing when we were growing up and now and seeing what they have now and what we didn't have back then, right? And that's, as kids, if we had what they had now, we'd be like, you're never seeing me again, man. The time you're going to see me in the real world is when I build myself a robot or an avatar that can walk around like me.
Bro, their attention span. Their attention span is so little now.
Back
It's like
then,
Finding Nemo.
And what the kids have now, I'd have one really muscular right arm. Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, if we had the shit that the kids have now, I would have hit 300 pounds by the time I was 7.
Dave?
Because right now I have the exercise regime of veal.
Yo,
At least when I
Dave,
was 7,
follow
I
the
was
name.
fucking
It's called
active.
Skip the Dishes.
I wasn't skipping anything. Trust me, the only thing skipping was my fucking heartbeat as I mowed down on more bacon.
Well, you see, that's a bad side.
No fucking way.
It's true because with the internet, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna be home. Oh, I want to do something different. You're gonna watch whatever cooking show and say, "Oh, let's see here, a hot dog wrapped in bacon,
Yeah.
deep fried."
What's this cooking shit?
Yeah, it was ICQ or MIRC. You guys remember ICQ
Yeah.
and MIRC chats?
Yeah.
You see, but it's true. I get it from both. What Thomas is saying is right. The kids today and what Zolf is saying don't have an attention span. My daughter has got her cell phone. She's got her laptop. She's got a computer. She's got an Xbox. She's got whatever, a Crunchyroll and Disney Plus and Netflix. And we have an Android box. And we have all this stuff. And she's got a whole bunch of games. And still, it's like, need to get out. Like, it's like Escape from New York, the movie, right? I look at it in her shoes, and I'm thinking, man, and on top of it, I get to work from home right now? Even my boss like, so Barry, when you come back in the office? Never. You won't see me. There's no coming to clean up my desk. There's no nothing. When the day you see me, not even see me, it's like, okay, Barry, you're retiring? Well, just mail back this laptop. There you go. That's it. I'm good.
Yeah. So now let's take it one step further.
Yeah.
How has this affected us, people who could work at home? Because before, I would cuss. I had to get up extra half hour early to drive for 20 minutes. Get to the office. I had to fight in traffic. Everybody else had to be like, everybody had to be like mad fucking max. Because, if you're driving 120, the guy's going to be right behind you. You're going to go 140. You can go 140. Then you got to be right beside you. Well, yeah, I got a lot of that too from the guys who would be doing this, going, yeah, go ahead.
Because Dave thought I was going to work.
I was doing that this morning, you son of a bitch. I don't have the option for working from home. So that's why I'm doing that. Because you three are sitting there going, ugh. You three are probably still wearing your fucking pajama pants, aren't you?
No, shut up. Shut up, guys. Shut up.
I ain't going to lie.
Thomas, don't
Hey,
get up.
at least be happy we're wearing pants.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no, Tom. No.
Now his lights work. Fuck.
But it's true. I mean, that's the problem. I think the disconnect is us as adults are looking at our kids and not understanding what the issue is. Because we're thinking automatically, man, if I was you with everything you got, I know what you got because we bought it for you, we'd be good. what's the issue? But from them, they're hearing the news, and all they're hearing is COVID. And when you talk to any kid, what happens when you get COVID? You die. So that's scary, because that's really what they link it to. There's
really,
no in between. Well, no, but if you're depending on the age, right? If you're the younger they are, some of them think you get COVID, you die. That's what.
Let's talk about the 20-year-olds who believe they'll live forever. We used to be 20, right?
Yep.
Here's the problem. We did the same thing that they did. Anybody who tells you that, you guys are being stupid, it's because you're young. We used to be young too. But here's the difference. If we went out there, right, you had to fornicate with somebody to catch something that would kill you. You had to have a drug problem. Now, somebody does this, and everybody recoils and says, okay, I don't know. Do you have it? Everybody's so afraid of everybody else right now. Do you understand? Like, this is a special point in our society's lives. Everybody's afraid, except for Dubai, where everybody is
the rest of the world
in Dubai, because they're inviting people apparently.
Well, that's how it's going to work, right? If you want to fornicate in the future, you probably have to fly to Dubai to get a special license. The rest of the world's going to put on those special caps like Demolition Man. Oh, yeah, that was good. Thanks. Bye.
I can't wait for St. Patrick's Day in Dubai. No, but seriously, I mean, like, yes, it's a pandemic and everybody's going through it and all that, and it's the, we had the same, not the same pandemic, but we had the same thing go around 100 years ago.
Right.
And I'm sure that 100 years ago, there were people that were freaking the fuck out over it.
Yeah.
Because they probably didn't know what the fuck was going on. And they didn't have the news cycles or the information highway or anything else that we have today.
Dave,
I don't feel well. Get the leeches.
Hang on a second. 100 years ago, okay? The only thing that they had that we didn't have, wait a minute, they had everything we had. They had newspapers. They had people going down the streets. Some were saying, you're taking away my rights. I don't want to wear a mask. Some were saying, wear a mask. It was the exact same thing. The only difference is the pictures are in black and white. That's it. They were doing the exact same things we're doing today. There were people saying we shouldn't gather more than 20 people at a time. There were people having big parties.
Right, but your point is not us, it's the kids.
But what I'm saying is, also back in the 20s, there was a fuckload of people that didn't read. Yep. So if you weren't picking up a newspaper, you didn't know what the fuck was going on. Okay? I don't watch the news. We don't watch the news here, A, because it's fucking depressing, and B, because they piss me off. But every day, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google News, I get the news. I know what's going on. There's no way you can avoid it now. Back then, you could avoid it. Charlie down the street died.
To the 80s.
Well, exactly. So I mean, there is.
Even back in the 80s, when there's no smartphones, there was nothing. It was either newspaper or the news, and then you would have to hear it. Because I know I didn't watch the news when I was, in high school, like going back to the 80s.
But not only that,
but you had to watch.
You had to watch the news at 6 or 11.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you didn't watch it at those two times, you watched it the next day.
Right. Yeah. And most of the time, I'm sure like everyone else here to a certain degree, we didn't watch the news at that age or during that time period. We were doing our thing, right? So it's when you sit down at the dinner table, exactly, your parents would say, oh, this was happening on the news today. And while you're scoffing down your food to get back to your comic books, your game, your friends, or whatever you want to do, it's like, what happened? Oh, okay. So you might hear snippets of it. If it was big enough, then you would hear it and you would grab your attention, and then you would hear it at school.
Discuss between the friends, like you would discuss it out between the friends.
Exactly.
But if it wasn't that big enough, nobody really cared, man.
No, but I mean, my thing is, I would hear from my parents. Yeah, my parents would come up and say, Barry, you hear what happened in the news? No, Mom, I'm not watching the news. I'm playing my Commodore 64. What are you talking about? Well, they're saying this is happening right now. Like, chickenpox is having an outbreak. Uh-huh. I had chickenpox when I was young. I'm good. And that was it. That's all I cared about.
No, the one thing I loved about the news when we were kids, it was West Indian households. So, Tommy, I hear a man named Jonathan in Texas was dealing drugs in his school. You know anybody dealing drugs in school? Because if you know anybody,
Exactly.
I will beat you. I will beat. You know, I will beat Barry because Barry know. Stupid things like that, right? Stupid things like that. And yet we have to look at it. But I'm just saying, today's society, and Dave, you hit on a really good topic. Today's society, we're so informed. I think we're over-informed. Back then, in the early 1900s, when that pandemic happened, people were informed and over-informed in a different way. People added their little spin to the story of soldiers coming back from the front lines with this and that. People added this. People talk. You know what I mean? So,
What the fuck do you think we're doing here?
what I'm saying is, people were informed back then, but it's sort
Yeah,
of
but I'm not going to start telling people not to be fucking informed because they're just going to sit there. Well, I'm not listening to these four assholes anymore.
No, but I get what Thomas is saying. It's like broken telephone, you know, to a certain degree. So for like you're saying, like those who can't read, they have to wait till someone tells them. So if that person's telling them and they're telling them their version of it instead of what the fact is, it gets a little bit of misinformation. But the whole point is, once again, our kids, right? I know Tommy's things are like, what the fuck are you guys all talking about? I'm so with the kids thing. It's like it's true. It's two different mentalities.
I am so glad Zolf is back. That's all I'm saying.
Barry, check the chat. Check the chat.
I like that one. Wow. You know what, brother? I'm so glad you're back because you brought a certain kind of magic to the shame in my life.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we do crack on each other. So as comedians, we crack on everybody and each other. No harm, no foul, nothing's offside, so deal with it.
No autopsy, no foul. That's how I always look at it.
No, man, it's all love, man. I love you guys, man.
Oh shit.
Damn, look at so intense. Wait, what the? Yeah, Tommy, I'm grinding your gears. Oh man. So that's the topic for tonight. Sorry, I was so depressing.
No. It's okay. Zolf's made up for you, so we're good. All right, so we are done for tonight. I want to thank Barry Carter, Zolf Ellie, and Thomas Patrice. My name's Dave Sokolowski. Thank you for listening to A Touch of Gray Matter. There's a ton of good people out in the world, and if you can't find one, be one. Thank you.